Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to have Grubby versus the STC coming up with you. Right now we unfortunately have a technical problem with one of the players' computers, but we can preview the match, of course, for you guys. Grubby, I feel like Grubby recently has been making a very good search for himself, playing very, very solidly, and also providing some very insightful casting knowledge
he's a phenomenal caster. He's a really good player too, though. So people are like, "Oh, he's a good caster. He sucks his play." No, it's not the case. He is a phenomenal player. If you missed Grubby versus, now my mind is just completely blank. There's a PvP. Why is my mind it just went off?
No.
Open up his group.
Was it at MLG Columbus?
There it is. Grubby versus Oz. Sorry. Grubby versus Oz. Phenomenal. Best of 3 series. I'm not going to say one because you're going to go watch the VODs right now. I don't even know if they're up. But let's look at the group really quick. Parting is currently at the top of it, 1-0. Oz is 1-0 as well. Grubby and the STC, they're both 0-1. But Grubby played really well against Oz, and I felt that series could have gone either way. And that's a testament to Grubby, because Oz, he's the guy who's like, all right, PvP, I got it. No one... You say it's lucky, I got it, easy.
Skill, son.
He's like, no big deal. But the Grubby and the STC, they have some work to do here. They're both 0-1. You don't want to be 0-2 ever.
No.
Ever. You don't ever want that to happen. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens. Both these players are going to be playing their hearts out.
I mean, Grubby for sure. Grubby is one of the handsomest nerds, I would say. Not to have a crush on Grubby or anything, but he is... I only wish him nothing but luck here. Obviously, we're going to be non-biased whatsoever. The STC, I'm trying to remember what I've seen from him lately. I know I watched a couple replays of him from the arena. I just can't quite remember, but obviously Korean Terran player. He's going to be fairly solid. He is on OGS. What is the first map going to be, Axel? Do you know?
I think it's Antigua. Someone just showed me, and then I just forgot. But Grubby's probably gonna tell me. I think it's Antigua Shipyard. We'll wait and see. But yeah, man, the STC is a very strong player. Grubby is as well, though. So it should be a great match. I mean, they're both 0-1, but let's look at who they played. They played Puzzle and Oz.
Yeah,
those are two very good players. So anything can happen here. And you know, I'm super excited. Interesting to note that the STC didn't even win a game against Parting. So I would give the edge to Grubby, to be honest.
I mean, with the way Grubby has been playing lately, he doesn't. I mean, obviously, he doesn't look unstoppable, but he looks really, really solid. So it's obviously no surprise that Parting and Oz are up 1-0 right now. But like you said, with Grubby playing so solidly against Oz, you almost have to give Grubby the benefit of doubt, the doubt here against STC.
Yeah. Parting 2-0 the STC. I didn't see those games, but I heard they were a little bit rough for the STC.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how he's feeling. I'm not sure if this is just one of those, you know, just one of those off games, one of those off series. But those happen, and players have come back from.
Of course.
Are the scoreboards set?
You bet.
For the right colors. Okay, we have Grubby red. Okay, good. Perfect. Perfect. So we're all ready to go. Just waiting on player confirmation, waiting on them to get their technical difficulties situated. And then we'll be straight into the series, the best of 3 at PVT. And the starting map is Antigua Shipyard. I'm fairly certain. Or, you know, if it's not, I'll be told differently. But we'll have to wait and see.
I want to take a quick look. Actually, I'm going to refresh the groups right now.
Yeah, and also, guys, I know we were having some mic difficulties apparently, so just tweet at us. Our Twitters are down there if there's problems, and we can try to figure that out. Unfortunately, there are technical difficulties. It happens in tournaments. But the best thing we can do is accept the feedback, read the feedback, and adjust accordingly. So again, just let us know if I'm sounding raspy. It's because I'm losing my voice a little bit on day 1. It's a little bit concerning. But these games have been amazing. I've been like just completely so excited every single. It's just
honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you did lose your voice on day 1, just from the amount of yelling.
Everyone at home should be losing their voice too, because they should be shouting and jumping up and high-fiving their friends.
This is true.
But they don't have to worry about casting in front of international audience.
This is true.
So.
I just imagine people like talking on Skype with other people while they're watching MLG, and like when they high five, they go to the monitor, they're like.
Slap their monitor.
And they're like, no! Why did I do that?
If you haven't already, tell a friend this is going on. Invite them over. Go to your neighbor, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, you want to watch video games with me?"
And she's like, "I don't know what video games are."
And then you explain to it. You explain to them.
Yeah, you're like, "Whoa, actually, there's these alien races that play against the human races, and they fight against each other, and then they mine these blue crystals and get money. There's lasers.
Oh,
guys, come on, lasers aren't awesome, are they? Yeah, they are. So." But seriously though, like one of the best things you could do is just, if you guys aren't already, is being caught up with a bunch of your friends, just sitting around watching StarCraft. I mean, I used to do that where we used to watch GSL VODs together, where we used to sync up. We used to sync up the VODs. We go 1, 2, 3, go, so that we'd all be in time, so one person wouldn't get excited or anything.
That's a good idea.
And yeah, it was super cool.
Get involved with your local communities.
That as well. I mean, you guys probably don't know. I mean, if you guys haven't already, check it on Team Liquid. Like, just search your city wherever you live. Just put it out there. I put out my city. I was like Winnipeg, and like I just looked it up in Team Liquid, hit enter, and was like, there's like a whole community here. This is a thing.
Yeah,
I guess
that's the thing.
It's awesome.
You'd be surprised how many people in your local area are actually interested in esports, and more specifically StarCraft too. So find a way. There are multiple ways of doing it. There's like, our StarCraft. There's like our San Diego or our Dallas, stuff like that. Check those out. See if anyone's interested. Or Team Liquid. Go to a little search bar, search your city, and you can do that. So just try to reach out to your local community, get involved with that. That's what gets esports to the next level. But for those of you who are wondering what's going on, Grubby versus the STC is coming up. We have Grubby in the lobby waiting on the STC, not entirely sure where he is. It looks like we are adjusting audio levels a little bit because apparently they are wrong. Turning them down just a little bit, but hopefully it can be amended. Again, thank you so much for the feedback you provide, because without your feedback, we wouldn't be able to adjust these problems as easily. So we really appreciate you helping out.
Yeah.
Not only this production, but esports as a whole.
Helping esports, Did you check out the esports bracket, by the way?
I did.
Like Special Tactics won.
Not surprised.
No, I feel like that's very fitting, actually.
It's very fitting.
Tactics Especial.
It looks like both of these players are ready. So we're going to jump into game number 1 between Grubby and the STC. A PvT, and the first map is going to be MLG Antigua Shipyard as we jump into the game.
Oh man, I'm so excited to watch Grubby play. It's Antigua Shipyard. There's a lot of cliffs, but the middle of the map is somewhat open, unless you're talking around the very center with that Zelnaga watchtower.
Yeah, and in the top.
Yes, go.
Let me go ahead and introduce the players. The top left-hand location, we have the red Protoss player, Grubby. His opponent in the bottom right-hand location, it's the blue Terran player, OGS the STC. Both these players have some work to do. They are both 0-1 in their group, which again, you never want to go 0-2.
No.
So both these players are going to be trying their hardest, and yes, the map is Antigua Shipyard. Let's talk about it just a bit. The middle of the map is very important to consider. High ground there, very important to hold. If you can hold that, if you can contain it, if you can keep it for your own and protect it, you have high ground advantage when they attack you. You have control of both of these mineral lines should you decide to drop any expansions there. At least the one closer to your main base.
I feel like it's a beautiful woman. You want to take it for your own, and you want to keep it. You just want to hold it tight.
We'll go with that. That's right? A fantastic analogy. And of course, we have a watchtower in the middle here, which of course gives you that vision. So if you have that vision, you have a lot of map control that you wouldn't originally have. That being said, though, both these players starting off pretty standard. Not much to say this far, but something else I want to touch on: the natural expansion. It's very easy to take. There's a ramp leading up to it. If you have a nice position at the top of that ramp, as a Terran player, put some bunkers down, you're going to feel pretty comfortable. But as it's safe for the Protoss player, you have force fields to partition that off. Rush distance is very long, so you do see fast expand builds. But this is the big but here. The Terran player drops are ridiculously good on this map.
Yeah.
The first and the third are pretty far apart. So as a Protoss player, you have to be very proactive about scouting. Very proactive about making sure you know where those medevacs are, where they're going to be, what your opponent is doing, and, this is the hard part, splitting your units so well that you don't send too much to one location. If you send like 2 extra sentries to defend against the drop, and you don't have them in your main army, you can lose your entire main army. But hold that thought, we have a proxied, not really a proxied, we have a 2 racks opening from the STC, no gas, and here's the interesting part about this. Grubby sees the no gas. He's thinking, okay, it's a gasless fast expand. When in fact, it's not.
Oh my goodness. Is Grubby actually going to spot this? He's so close to seeing the barracks. He's right on the edge instead. He's going to attack that SCV. He's going to swing around.
Wow.
Yes, he spots the barracks. Huge scout there for Grubby. Wow.
Grubby is such a smart guy, and scouting that too, Rex. So let's talk about how that affects what Grubby's doing here.
Boy.
So originally, Grubby had a gateway, had a cybercore on the way. He was going to pass expand. Once he saw that Rex, though, added on a second gate, added on a gas. He's going to tech up a little bit, because his logic here is, okay, my opponent took a cut on economy. He added on a second racks instead of going to factory, or instead of adding on a tech lab and going to upgrades, adding on an engineering bay, getting upgrades. He's going to be pretty weak. He's only going to have Marines. So what Grubby could be thinking here is, okay, I'm used to stalkers in that field, get rid of these Marines, and then I'm going to directly counter attack. Now what he could do here as well, take a fast expand, use that early gas to get a pretty early robo. But all that being said, Grubby, just by seeing his initial 2 racks from his opponent, he's going to have a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, so huge there. And he gets that second gas to build up that sentry count. And he's going to move out with that first stalker, because of course the stalkers can kite Marines. That what he'll do is he'll just try and do a little bit of damage. And oh no, Grubby looks like he will get caught.
Ouch.
And that stalker does go down to 42 health points there.
It was smart play by the STC.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with this game as much as maybe the usual person is, this smoke, you can't see past it. So coming forward with the stalker, STC has this watchtower, so he can see everything. Grubby didn't have the watchtower, so he didn't know what was behind the smoke. He walked by and was immediately shot in the face by all those Marines, which is no fun at all. So that's why Grubby took that damage there. But in the meantime, trying to decide, oh, do I want to go in there? Nope, I don't. There's still Marines there. So Grubby going to send a probe around the map, adding on another gateway. So 3-gate aggression, perhaps. And is he going to expand here? I guess this is really interesting. I want to say he just wanted to make absolute sure that he didn't lose to any hyper aggression from his opponent.
I would agree with that as well. Where the 3-gateway pressure expand is a well-known build there, and the STC sort of just delays that a little bit while he gets his orbital command up at the natural expansion. Finally, Grubby is able to throw down his own expansion. With just one broken at the front here, we may see slight aggression here from Grubby. We do see actually a pylon placed at the third base. It did look like STC was able to scout that, so we may see him pull SCVs initially here, just in anticipation.
Yeah, he definitely did scout that out. Has an idea of what's coming. Probe immediately getting sniped away. Grubby sees the 2 bunkers at the top. 1 completed, 1 still under construction. Grubby warping in a couple sentries here to reinforce his standing army, bringing forward 2 zealots and 2 sentries. He's going to try to break STC here. Will he have enough? He's
going to have to put up Guardian Shield initially with his sentries to not so much nullify, but actually here he goes. He's going to move on forward. Guardian Shield goes up here. He doesn't actually have a lot of zealots, and actually SCVs are not repairing on towards the bunkers, and it looks like Grubby's push will get deterred away nonetheless, though.
Yeah. Grubby, that was a push where he's like, okay, if my opponent isn't prepared, I can win this game. If my opponent isn't prepared, I can win this game right now.
Yeah.
If my opponent is prepared, just take a little bit of shield damage and back away. So the concerning thing for me here is he's committing 2 pylons to this. If he doesn't end up killing his opponent right now, those pylons are going to die. And looking at the production tab, we see Twilight Council 2 gases going down. That implies that Grubby is definitely not going to continue with this hyper aggression, and will back up pretty soon. He's going to lose 2 pylons out of this.
This is going to get a tad scary now. Starport is now just finished up for the STC. Stim is going to be finishing up yet as well.
Yeah.
So there's no area of effect damage yet for Grubby. What he's going to have to rely on with making this Twilight Council is probably Zealot Charge would be my inclination here. Zealot Charge is just a little bit more defensive. You're able to defend just a little bit easier and sit back and kind of macro from those bases. And he's actually going to go right up to High Templar, which I like. He's just a little bit vulnerable though, and he is getting Zealot. So I'm anticipating Zealot Charge here relatively soon. Yeah,
we'll have to keep an eye on that gas count. Of course, the 2 gases taken at his natural expansion relatively fast imply the fast tech to High Templar. So Grubby doing all the right things concerning managing his economy. And we'll have to see if he goes straight to Archons too. Like, does he research Storm right away? It could happen, but we'll see. The scary thing is, as you said, the STC, 2 medevacs on the field, Stim is done, Bunker's getting salvaged. He's going to be on his way pretty soon here. 2 High Templars are starting. No Storm. Okay, there we go. Just now starting Storm, but again, this is like, as a Protoss player, this is one of the scariest moments.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
When you're researching Storm. Like, that's like one of the scariest moments in the game.
Yeah, luckily Grubby has made some extra pylons here, so he is at 80 of 84. He will, in fact, get supply block, though. So that's going to hamper production just a little bit, and that's going to hurt right away as this push is going to be moving across the map here for the STC. 85 to 80 supply in favor of STC. STC has actually chosen to go a faster Ghost Academy in response to this. I anticipate he did, in fact, scan it. There's the Zealot charge that we were talking about. He actually didn't even see the High Templar, or the Templar Archives, pardon me.
This is dangerous for Grubby. Keep in mind, he threw down 2 forges as well. That's a bunch of investment that hasn't paid off for him yet. So, I'm scared for Grubby. Storm needs to finish. It is moments away, but the STC is not going to wait. Going to drop in the main base. Any feedback signal down? No, not just yet. Grubby returning a High Templar to the high ground, trying to get his units in position. Again, this is the part where you have to partition your units perfectly, and Grubby to go down the ramp, going to force field off these units. Decent force field, but there's still a choke for the Zealots, and the STC is just going to lift off the units and bring them into the main base. Feedback's going down onto the medevacs, it looks like, but Grubby doesn't have enough here.
Storm was seconds away from finishing there. STC took out the pylon, depowered the Templar Archives. Zealot charge is not done here. Grubby in an absolute desperate situation. Does not have a lot of units. Grubby is forced to GG. And STC is going to take game number 1 there with a very well timed out attack.
Wow. Okay, so my 2 cents about that game. I feel like Grubby scouted the 2 racks, which was phenomenal. His reaction to it, though, I don't like. You know, the way he reacted.
You know, I would agree with you on that.
His expansion was later, so that automatically everything's going to be later. You know, to a certain extent, you have to make sure you can defend against that 2 racks aggression. But going up to 3 gates when your opponent shows 2 racks.
Yeah, I would agree.
And maybe try to get a probe up there to see that the command center started, because when you're going 3 gates, this is PvT, where the current metagame, you get that really fast nexus. That's what you do. All his opponent had were Marines, so I think 1 or 2 gates, get some stalkers out. It should be fine. I mean, he didn't have any gas. He's not going to get up to Marauders too fast. But from then on, you know, Grubby was a little bit behind in tech, and we saw that he was milliseconds away from completing that Storm upgrade. And then another part is when he committed those 2 pylons. Again, that's another thing I was kind of questionable. Again, you could say, okay, he wants the reinforcements, which is fine. Just have 1 pylon there, build the other pylon back home, or build it in a more obscure location. And then he poked up the ramp, which is fine. I don't know how many units he actually lost.
I think he lost a couple Zealots, maybe.
Yeah, so obviously that's going to hurt a little bit. And then, of course, the big thing, all the investment he did when his opponent was attacking him, right?
Yeah.
When his opponent was about to push out, Stim was done, medevacs were getting out on the field. Grubby put down 2 forges, put down a Twilight Council, put down a High Templar Archives, reach your Storm. This is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of money you're putting into stuff that's not going to pay off immediately.
Man, he was so close. If he would have had Storm, literally seconds away, completely changes that entire battle. But he was obviously going into a later game, maybe hoping that there wouldn't be a timing attack from the STC.
Yeah.
So Grubby just got kind of a little bit, you could say, with his proverbial pants down, I guess you could call it.
It was, I mean, Grubby, the STC definitely showed, as I'm trying to type to Grubby here.
No, that's okay. Yeah, the STC showed the power, like
the power of drops too.
Yes, exactly.
On that map, which we talked about earlier.
Perfect.
It was amazing because the force fields went down for Grubby.
Yeah.
STC's like, okay, I'll just pick him up and put him up there. Map pool. We need a map pool. Can you go to the Liquipedia? There's gotta be a map pool there. I don't see him there. Maybe go to the Team Liquid
map
thread?
Map pool.
Admin left Grubby and he's asking me for the map pool. I don't feel comfortable enough.
How could you do that to Grubby?
I don't feel comfortable enough to provide him with.
Yeah.
What do I just say? Steps. Steps of War. What's another terrible map? No offense to those map makers.
Blistering Sands.
Blistering Sands.
Yeah, that's where it's at, man. Blistering Sands. Ghost Rush. What up?
Okay.
He's gonna choose Entomb Valley.
Grubby has selected his map of choice. Did you adjust the scoreboard?
I did indeed.
You are on top of things, sir.
You bet I am.
You are a man among men.
I'm a fast learner.
Why do I question anything you do? But Grubby has selected Entombed Valley for his map choice in game number 2. And their colors... Okay.
TheSTC is blue,
good.
yes.
Good. Everything's falling into place here.
It's like a very well. It's like a very nice jigsaw puzzle. That's what I was looking for.
And all the pieces are fitting.
Exactly, and it's like when you just put it out of the box, and it falls out of the box, and it's like, oh, it's already done.
Yes, that's awesome. And
right?
the even better feeling is just taking it and just crumbling it all up.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. Breaking perfection. If you can ever break perfection, it's fun. Like knocking down your friend's jigsaw puzzle, or your friend built a snowman. It's glistening in the sun. Its snow is falling. Can it be sunny and the snow falling?
Oh yes, 100%.
I think it can.
Yeah.
The little carrot is in a perfect location. Little coal eyes, and they're posing for a picture. You know, the little girl is posing next to the snowman, holding her little doll, and you go and just fly and kick the thing.
Oh, flying kick!
Such a good feeling.
Wow.
I'm not like I don't know so many details about this story because I did that or anything.
Oh.
In my life once.
I probably would have tackled it.
You can tackle, but then you get all cold.
That's true.
Is all it gets. But if you leave
you think too far ahead, man.
No, you gotta take all this into consideration.
You absolutely do.
But enough about